guys are doing great. Thanks to God that I am able to share and you are able to listen. Today's my topic is all about Swift protocol. So what are the protocol and how you can just define those protocol into the Swift. And if you are already aware about these things, then quickly you can recap this whole topic with me. Otherwise, like I just created this for freshers, like those are coming into the Swift language, and they should not go here and there. Everything should complete here only. So what is a protocol and how you can define this in the Swift? Quickly, I have some topics, points. Those are very important points, and that I just completed here. So first point is what is protocol and how you can define this in the Swift, and how protocol behave with the class reference type, how protocol behave with a struct value type, how to declare optional function of a protocol for class using OBJC, what is a OBJC as well, and what is an extension into the Swift, how to declare a protocol extension with self and where keyword, how to declare optional functions of a protocol for class and struct using extension, and how to declare and use protocol properties using get and set keyword. Generally here, like, people don't understand what is delegate in the Swift, what is a delegate feature, how a delegate works with protocol, and what is associated type in protocol. That means generic protocol, the values will be generic over there, right? So if you don't know about the reference type and value type, then just please check my previous videos. Otherwise, like, I will cover here the protocol only. My main concern will be protocol. So here, what is a protocol first? So I'm just quickly recapping, like, where you need to use the protocol and how you can just go with protocol oriented approach. So if you have multiple inputs and output will be a same output, like a unique output, right? Then you need to introduce the protocol. How? Like, lots of birds can fly, then flyable protocol will be there, and the fly function will be the feature, right? Same like that, birds can fly on different speed, like pigeon, eagle, or whatever. That protocol will define a set of rules, and that will apply for all the birds, and the fly function will complete over there. So output will be unique, but input can be different. Same like that, you can do a protocol for fish, something like lots of fishes will be there, but you can just they can swim, right? So swimmable protocol will be there, and like that, so on. And if you want to go for the real-time programming, then like you want to search for a payment function, payment feature, then payment will be the final information, right? So at the end, payment will be done. So input will be different, like online, cash, or apps, or whatever, but a protocol will be there from whom we are getting and who is paid. So from and to will be there, and payment will be there, like that. So there you can introduce the protocol power. Now, how to define the protocol into the Swift so that you can kill lots of birds with one stone. So quickly, I'll create a Xcode, and I'll introduce a new playground, which will be the protocol playground. In that protocol, I just want to summarize everything in small time of period so that you guys can understand it quickly and very nicely, right? So what is a protocol and how you can define into the Swift? That first point I will take here. You understood very well, like, what is a protocol and how you will define, and more you practice, more you will understand. It is a very powerful feature. How you can define this into the Swift, like there is a keyword protocol. By that you can just define a protocol, right? Protocol. Now protocol will be there. Now some functions will be there, right? So suppose, as I take an example, a simple example we can take for understanding, like flyable. So if something will be fly, then what will be the parameters of fly, right? So speed will be there, right? So speed of the flying will be there. Suppose eagle can fly speedily, more speedily rather than pigeon, like that. A fly function will be there, and then you will like that you can just create a protocol with the protocol keyword flyable, and the function will be there. That function declaration will be there, definition will not available into the protocol, right? So protocol are top to bottom approach. So they will say whomsoever want, they need to do those set of rules and they need to adopt those rules, right? And that should be there. So any class which will go with this flyable protocol, that means they will give us the information of flying speed. So like that protocol can be defined. Now how protocol behave with the class and how protocol behave with the struct, both topics I just want to cover together here. So now you will understand like how protocol behave with the class, reference type and value type, right? Struct is there, nothing is big difference, but yeah. So whatever value type things are there, they will not destroy, and reference type will not destroy. Rest everything is perfect. You can use this flyable protocol for the class. Like suppose a class will be a pigeon class, and into this you will introduce this one, and same like that a struct will be there and it will be a eagle, right? So now it is saying, it's forcing you, like you adopted this flyable protocol for the struct and class, but you did not give the function that is mandatory, right? So stub, once you will fix the stub here, it will say yeah, now it is fine, and you can just return some like 20 kilometers per hour pigeon will fly, and it will be like 70 kilometers per hour, like that eagle will fly. Now these functions inside the class and struct. That fly function we introduce because it's a required function into the protocol. Whomsoever will just apply this protocol, he will be more responsible to adopt this rule set of functions, right? Set of rules. So this is called protocol. Now in this protocol, this is mandatory, right? We need to give this function. Suppose 1000 functions will register here, and I want to create a class. I don't want like 99,000 functions, 99,999, only one function I want. Then I need to make them optional rest functions, right? So function foo will be there. That function I want to make it optional again and again. If it will give me the errors, like you need to register foo, that is pretty ugly, right? I don't want to register. So now what I will do, I'll make them optional. Now through the optional, into the class and into the struct, how you can just make optional functions of protocol, that I'll tell you, right? So this is a class and this is a structure. Into the class, if you want to create optional functions, those should avoid this mandatory implementation of the foo. Then you can go with the old objc method. That means it's a objective C and Swift respect it. So it is saying like you can use the objc keyword and optional keyword, and you can just make your things optional. You can create optional functions, right? But into the struct, it will be only one approach through the extension. Now it will, if you are fresher, then it will be pretty new for you, right? So what is extension? Rest things we know. So extension, through the extension also, here are two way, but here only the one way into the structure, because struct don't know the objc and reference type things. Now first I will take the class example, and one more thing I want to tell you here, like if this flyable protocol I want to restrict rather than foo, I want to restrict this for the classes only, then you can go with the class keyword in front of the flyable, then it will give you error for eagle, because eagle is a struct and this flyable protocol will be the family of classes only, right? So flyable protocol will work into this only, right? That error should vanish. Yeah. So now person is a class, pigeon is a class, pigeon is a class, and this class have a fly because it's a class protocol. Now struct is saying non-class type eagle cannot conform to class protocol flyable. Love the errors, understand them and read them, right? Now if you want to fix it, then you can make it as a class, right? Otherwise it will not work. Like that you can just force protocol to make for a specific class type. Now objc will also do the same thing, like if it is an Objective-C protocol, objc protocol, older protocol, the older language protocol, then that means class will be there, reference type will be there, struct will be not there. So same thing, same error will come. So either if you are gripping your ear from right to left or left to right, no matter. So either like that or either like this, it is same, right? So Objective-C, now I'm just giving you the information. I will comment struct for some time and I'll tell you, like objc protocol flyable is there. Why I taken this? Because I want to make optional foo, because it's giving me error, an optional function I want, right? So from to type you can just silent this information, like I don't want to add this stuff here forcefully, right? So now what I will do, objc an optional keyword I'll use here in front of foo, objc optional, then it will be my optional function, right? It depends on you. If you want to use this, use, otherwise you can don't use. Now if you will remove from here, any effect will come. Yeah, directly optional can only be applied for members of objc protocol only, so you need to make it objc. Now if I don't want to make objc here, will it work? It is saying no, optional requirement objc compatibility with the objc keyword. So here and here, both places you require this, right? So this is the number one rule to making optional functions, right? To making using class objc, how you can just declare optional functions, that also covered. So this is the first feature. Now extension I'll tell you. Before that I want to tell you this is the thing into the class. Now this will work for the classes only, right? Now I want to remove objc optional and everything, and I will go through the extension. What is an extension? So I will open the struct, because extension will work for the both here and struct also. So now pigeon and eagle both have a error, and which is saying like foo, you need to register here, and I'm saying I don't want to register this. Now what is the extension actually? So you completed these topics. Now I want to tell you what is an extension into the Swift. So extension means, like if you are a person, right, and you have family life, work life, learning life, health life, like that, right? So person plus health life, person plus work life, person plus family life, right? Person plus education life, something like that. So these are the category of that person, right? Into the old Objective-C it was category, but now it is extension. You are extending this person in several areas, right? So how you will extend related, health related, like how many exercises he is doing every day, what is the diet plan and whatever. And work, like where he is working professionally, and what are the environment of that working place. Family, like how many siblings and everything is there, and what is the relation, good or bad or whatever it is. And this is the education, like how he just educated himself, like that. So this is the extension of in different areas. So related functions will be there on the related category, right? So you can just create a simple person over there. I will comment foo, something like that for here. So it was a real extension meaning, right? Now I want to take this. It was a real extension meaning before, right? It was a equal to the category. Now it more extended into the protocol. I'll come there. So suppose a person class person is there, and it have you want to create category, so extension will be there. So health category will look like that, extension, and person, which will be, I'm extending for the health, I'm extending person for the health, I'm extending person for education, I'm extending person for the work, like that, and so on, right? So these things. So now related functions I will store over there. So workout function will be there, and so on. I will register lots of functions related to this thing, right? And education, like qualification, related functions will be there. What was the subject and what was the 10 subject, something like that. And person work, like work info, something like that, and that function will inform it. But once you will create a object of that person, p object, once you will create, on that time all functions will be there. Person, if you want to suppose workout you want, then workout will be there. If you want p dot education related qualification, and qualification will be there, right? P dot qualification something, it is there, and the workout is there, right? It's pretty simple. So that means rather than work info will be there, right? So work info will be there. So like that you are just categorize this thing, so that any team is working over there on education or health or work module, they can work separately on this person, and they can sum up the result, and person will build up over there, like that extension was there, right? But now it is an extension. Now what is the role of extension into the protocol? So into the protocol, if you want to silent this foo, if you want to make this optional, you can extend the flyable protocol also, like flyable, and extension will be like that. And function foo, because you are not declaring a body of this into the protocol, you can't do this. So like that you will declare this function foo here, right? Then it will be silent for classes and for eagle both, and error will vanish there, right? If you will comment this, again errors will start, right? So by the extension you can make functions optional, right? And in the classes you can use the objc also. Now listen, now what you need to do is how to declare a protocol extension with self and where keyword, right? Now try to understand. I want to create this fly also as an extension. So if I will remove this and I'll remove this from here, then nothing will be there. Again it will give me the error for fly, right? Fly is not a optional, so I'll make it fly also optional, and I'll return a 20 speed, which is a static speed, right? So if I will create a object of pigeon, and this will be, if I will create this pigeon object, and I'll comment these things for being now, and pigeon will be there, and if I will create a pigeon and I'll ask to pigeon that flying speed will be, what is the flying speed, and same like that if I will create a eagle object, and if I will ask to eagle, both will give me the same result, and which is very bad, right? So 2020 will be the speed, pigeon and eagle, but flying speed is different, right? So how you will categorize into the extension? So what you need to do, if a extension, you can just use self and where keyword, right? You can use the self and where keyword like that. So this concept will cover here. So self and where, when you will use self and where my self flyable self is equivalent to a pigeon, right? A pigeon. So I'll take those classes upfront because they are not checking like where is my pigeon, right? So I need to take them upfront, and I'll create the object at the end, and I will create those classes after this, right? Or you can just make them at the top. Yeah, liable protocol will be there, and oh, it can be work over there as well. I'm really sorry. Yeah, so what you need to do, it's fine wherever it is, it's okay. Self, where you need to declare like where self me means I am the flyable protocol, will be registered with the pigeon, then I'll give 20, otherwise I will give eagle, then it will be 70 kilometers per hour, right? So it will work like that. Now it is, I think it's perfectly fine and no error is there. What is that? Yeah, so self constraint to a non-protocol non-class type eagle, right? So what is there? It is a flyable struct eagle. So it is saying self is constrained to non-protocol non-class type eagle, because eagle is a struct, right? So now eagle is a flyable protocol, so it can be equivalent to eagle like that, but actually that is the difference. Yeah, that is the difference into the class person and into the struct. In this it will be equivalent struct, and in this you can just use this symbol and you can just make where clause for the struct and class both, right? And now you will run this, it will give you the pigeon 20 and eagle 70 result, right? So it is perfectly fine. So hope you understood this example. Now we need to focus like how to declare optional function on protocol class and struct. In the struct you need to take care of this thing, it will be equal, otherwise it will be double dot, right? How to declare and use protocol property using get and set keyword, that is pretty important. Now I will cover this topic, how to declare and use protocol properties using get and set keyword. Suppose I will create a protocol, and then protocol will be a protocol, and this protocol have a variable name string property. Will it work? No, it will not work like that. Here it will say property in protocol must have explicitly get or get set specifier. So what are get and set? They are basically getter and setter. It's not like about computed property which you already completed in the previous lesson, but it is a getter and setter rather than just giving calculating information and giving to the other properties like same like computed property. It is not there. So what you need to do, you can do the presses, and it can be get only property. Now I will tell you what is the difference into the get and set, right? So name is there, a protocol will be there, name is there. Now I am just registering a class, a will be there, and in that a protocol will be there, and in this a protocol I will don't do anything. Then it will say type a does not conform to a protocol. Okay, I will confirm like that. Extension will work there or not, I need to check, right? So extension a protocol will be there, and if I will just declare a var name property here like that, will it work or not, right? I need to check, will it work or it will give me error? No, it's not. Extension must not contain stored property, right? So here extension will not work, same like function, right? So you can't do this, so you can just proceed like that. So now what you need to do, if it will be a nil property and nil property, I don't want nil property, I want a strong property here, and I want to, if I will not declare it, that means I am promising to a protocol that through this get you will get a name information, and you will be able to set this in future wherever you will use this protocol on the different classes, right? So in it will be there, it will give you error. If I will run this, it will give you error. So it is saying class A has not initializer. Yeah, I don't have, I know, and I'll create this. I'll say self.name will be a name, and whenever whomsoever will create this class, a class, like I am the person who is creating this object of a dot init with the name something iOSCode, right? Now if I will inherit this, I will implement this and initialize this, it will work, and object name will be there, right? Object dot name is there. So I will, once I'll print this, it will give me the information like iOSCoder is there. But now if I want to change this, because it's a get only property, right? You will tell, you don't need to confuse. Here is a big secret, name is equals to like Java coder. I want to change this. Now what will happen, it will change, and you will ask me like why it changed, right? iOSCoder, Java coder, it is a get only property, getter is there only, set you can't set, then why it changed? Because of the type which you created the object. If you will change this object type through the a protocol, the a protocol will be the head, but body will be your a class, and once you will try to do this, it will say, hey, no, cannot assign to property name, it's a get only property of a protocol, because you gave the type of a protocol rather than a. So keep in mind, if you will give the a class property, then it will understand like, okay, it's a name, it can be more than multiple protocols as well, right? So it's independent name, so it's considering it's a's variable property, and which is variable, so you can change this, right? And into the struct, even though you can't change this, because in the struct what will happen, if you will create this let, then your inner properties also will be considered as let, no matter they are where or let, no matter, right? So like that, you can just be clear on your concepts. Now this is a get property, and if you want to set the property, then you can just make it set, and you can use a protocol here. And then once you will do the Java coder with the a protocol, it will be able to change also, but it will work like you need to create the where object, because in the struct and in the protocol, they will, once they will declare let, that means its inner properties also will be considered as a let, no matter they are where or let, right? So you need to declare where, and then it will be able to change the Java code, right? So this is the simple thing. You can define the properties, pretty cool. You can just go with the extension nicely. You can just create the protocol with yourself and where and self keywords that you understood, right? Now I want to tell you one more weapon here. I want to introduce that should be in your pocket. What is a delegate? It's a pretty strong thing. Before this, I want to introduce the associated type first, right? So what is the associated type? So generic protocol will complete here. So now if you will use the associated type into a protocol, how you will use, suppose a protocol will be a generic protocol, right? And if it is a generic protocol, then you can use associated type. Any info will go there, and suppose if any info is going there, that means it's a generic protocol. So if I will use this class a string will use this generic protocol, then what will happen? I need to declare a type alias of info of my information. If I will not write anything, it will give me automatically result, right? I will fix it. I'll see type alias is there, info is there. Now what you want to declare this info type? I will say it's a string, so I'll declare the info string, right? Suppose if something will be there a integer, then I'll declare the a integer, then it will be, type will be integer. And suppose a person will come, right? So a person will come, then a person will be there, and my type will be a person class, which I'll just going to create this person class here, right? And which will hold some name of the person, and that will be XYZ, right? So the person will hold the person object, but now your information is coming as is generic, right? Whatever requirement is there, like that we are adopting this generic protocol, right? Now a function will be there inside this, like suppose function is there, function name will be like information, and it will give a info variable. Whatever you will just define, it will return you, right? So that function again, it will bark for all classes because it's a required function. Same like that, same like that, and same like that. You need to define these things. Now what you need to do is information will come here, info string, info string. Now here info int, automatically it's taking info int, here it's taking info person, right? Now if it is looking like that, then if it will be int, then you can return like return whatever info is coming, that plus 5 more, right? If it is coming string, then return whatever info is coming plus some gap or and test, right? And if it is a person, then return a person, like info is there, so change the info dot name equals to name change something, and you can just return that info. That's all, right? So everywhere these things are pretty simple. Now I will create some object. Let object string, and a string will be there, and a string object I'll create, and object string, if I will call the information method with the string, then I will give a value like iOS. Same like that, if I will create object integer, then a int will be there, and it will be a int, and this a integer will give me some value like 5, then 5 plus 5, it will be 10. And same like that, I'll create a person, obj person, and this person will be a person, and a person will create, but it is giving me the result through the generic protocol, whatever protocol is there, and I'm just adopting this, right? So person will be there. In it initialization, I just want to create a init function as well with a name string, and self dot name, and equals to name will be there, right? So person init, and name will be any name, but name will change, right? So now if I will run whole things, can you see it went to the a string iOS, and test it appended, right? So it appended the test from this generic protocol, and it appended the 10 from the 5, right? Yeah, plus 5, and the name changed, that means the person I want to look into this name changed will be there, right? Like that you can just proceed. So that is completed. Now I want to give you the one more weapon, a delegate function into the Swift, right? So quickly go there and just understand the delegate. So it's a parent and child relation, right? Parent and child relation. So if parent will be there, a parent and child relation, don't use the parent and child word. You can say suppose I am the person and my friend is there. He went somewhere at some place, and he is giving me the information of that particular place. That is called delegate. So friend is going as a friend is representing me, and through this representation I'm getting the information from this friend, and also I can just talk to the friend like what actual thing is going on there, right? So either a friend and person relation, you can say like a parent view will be there and a child view will be there. If child view will come and sit on the top of the parent view, and if on the child view some buttons and some text fields or something like that, if I will interact with them, my parent view will not understand what's going on the top of the child view, right? Because it is on the top of my parent view, right? So how I will get informed to the parent view once what activity is going on the child view, right? Through the delegate of that particular child view only, right? So I will create a delegate of the child view and just pass it to make it to the private parent view, and I'll tell to parent view, okay, one delegate I'm assigning to you, it will give you my information like child view information, whatever we are changing or user is updating over there, you will get informed, right? Okay, so like that we can just proceed. So I will give a simple example of delegate and how it is working into the protocol, right? So what is a delegate? I told you it's simply a representer of any entity or object which will be registered to its parent who wants information of that particular child entity, whatever it is, view, object, or whatever functionality will be there, right? So like suppose I have a class child, right? And child is there, and in this child, like I will create a first of all, if things will come like this delegate, then you need to create a protocol of set of rules. So you will create a protocol rules, something like that, and function for the child. Suppose I'm taking an example of child and father and son, right? So rules like studying will be there, and function like playing will be there, function lunch time will be there. And he went to the school, child went to the school, and rules are there. Then parent class, this is a protocol. Now where we'll apply those rules, like on the father, on the child, right? That will be pretty confused. But if you once you will understand this, then you will never ever forget this delegate concept, right? So protocol and delegate, that means I need to create a delegate of the protocol, but where? So at child side, right? So blindly I'll create a child class, and I'll say I need to create a delegate of those rules. Then I will create a delegate of my rules, which my dads are just saying, like child is saying like his father have some rules, his father gave him some rules. That delegate, he needs to represent himself for his father with the delegate, right? And now studying, playing, and lunchtime, I need to inform to my father when I will be in the school. Then this child is saying I'll create the delegate and I'll give this delegation information to my dad, right? So what I'll do, I'll create a function here, studying. So once I'll go in the class, on that time I will call a rule number 1, which is if my dad will be keep on eye on myself, that means it will not nil, right? From somewhere. And who is the somewhere? The person, the parent, right? So if my delegate, if let delegate will be not empty, then I need to call studying function rule number 1. Same like that, I can call other functions also, function playing and having lunch, something like that, and it will be playing. And same like that, I can just create lunch time or break time, then having lunch time, right? So all information will be there to my father. If I'm a child, then class will be there, and a father or parent will be there, can be mom and dad. They have set of rules, they will register protocol like that, rules. That is pretty much important, right? So they registered these rules. Now they are saying add everything about your son, like whenever he will ping you, you need to be informed, right? So once you will say print studying and so on. So whenever he will give you a flag, you will get informed, right? Like that. So parent will get informed. Now who is the child? So parent have a child, so I need to create the child object into the parent, right? So what I'll do, my child, right? And it will be a child, and if this is a child which I created, then this is my duty in the initialization. I need, once I'll init myself, I need to keep an eye on my child. So that delegate should be me, like my child is there, that means it's representing me. So I just said okay, whenever he wanted to try, it will never ever nil, right? And he will able to inform me anytime if he is going school. right? So at the final stage, I will create a parent object, and in this parent object, what I'll do, I will create, I will, so now suppose you can just assume like parent is there, right? And the functions are there. Now parent doesn't know about that, like where is his son into the school. So from the school kid will give a flag to the parent like, hey parents, I'm studying. If he will do I'm studying, then this function will call, right? So it will print like that, studying, right? Then if it will be a playing time, then it will say I'm playing, right? Like that. So it will call, right? And if you will not register this one, they will not call, because they will get empty thing here, right? It will go into the else part. Suppose studying, uh, delegate is empty, right? Like that you can say parent forgot delegation, right? Like that you can just append the part on, and you can run this again. Then you can say parent forgot delegation, right? Like that. So this is the delegate protocol inside the delegate. Hope you understood whole thing, and you are comfortable into all these things. So I'm assuming like now things are crystal clear for you related to the protocol into the Swift. And here we covered all topics like what is a protocol and how you can define this Swift, how protocol behaves with class struct, objc optional functions, extension, self-aware keywords, extension with a struct, how struct and classes, getter and setter properties, associated type, generic protocol, and what is a delegate and how a delegate works with a protocol, right? So those are very important topics and that we covered today. So if you really like this, please share this with your friends, and I will see you in the next topic for like error handling, and then one more topic will be there, uh, and then we'll finish our section 2, and you will be pretty comfortable into the Swift programming fundamentals. Then we'll start our real iOS application development. Thank you. Thanks for watching this.